she made it through her first semester or whatever. I can explain, I really can explain, and I'm sorry I left you guys hanging after I uploaded that first video, but I'm back and I'm here to share my experience on how nursing school is going. Now, I know I went MIA. The last video I uploaded was literally 9 or 10 months ago, back in May, when I was telling you guys about how to pass your nursing prerequisites, and I had just got my acceptance letter into nursing school. And I do want to give you guys a bit of an update. Yes, I'm still in nursing school. I am halfway done. I just started my third semester, and I'm sorry that I went MIA, but I'm not gonna lie, this has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life, and I had to make sure that I stayed focused. So if that meant putting social media away for a little bit and missing out on some content, I just had to do that. But again, there is no excuses. I know that I could have managed my time better and still kept you guys updated, but we're here now. I can speak on my first 2 semesters proudly and give you guys some advice and some tips on how to get through those. So I just thought I'd catch you guys up really quick. I'll do a whole nother video on how my third semester is going so far. It did just start, but I do want to try and be more consistent and update you guys. So without further ado, this video is going to be about how I passed level 1 or semester 1 of nursing school. It was, now I can say 2 semesters ago or 1 semester ago. No, yeah, 2 semesters ago. I started nursing school back in May of 2025 and I finished in August of 2025. So that was my first semester. I am in an accelerated program, for those of you who are wondering about that. So our program is 16 months and it goes really fast. So having to navigate through that was a bit of a challenge, and why I had to also put social media away and really focus on passing my classes and getting through this program. We are almost done. We graduate this year. I'm so excited for all my class of 2026 nurses. Leave a comment down below, and just leave down below what year you graduate nursing school, because we're all here for the same reasons, to become a nurse, and not just a nurse, a good nurse. So I'm excited for that. I have a lot of good ideas and plans to work on and get through, and I still have to get through my semesters and pass my classes, which is ultimately the most important. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I got through my first semester, but first, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Like this video if you want more content like it. Honestly guys, you have been so loyal, because I still been getting followers and subscribers from the only video that I had uploaded on this channel. And so I just appreciate the comments, the kind words and support, even though I have literally left you guys in the dust. But I promise to get better, and I really do hope to take you guys on this journey with me, not only through nursing school, but also when I graduate, become a nurse, and all the good things that come with that. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first tip, guys, I literally need you to lock in. Okay, my first tip is to get organized. The biggest thing that I struggled with in my first semester of nursing school was getting a schedule and figuring out what days were what. When do I have time to study? When do I have time to work? Because I still worked part-time, and I still do work part-time throughout my program, and understanding when assignments were due, when exams were coming up. I struggled so hard because I did not really prepare in advance, like a couple weeks before actually starting, because I honestly didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, sometimes, like, even when my classes were being uploaded into Canvas, I was getting very confused on like what that number class was. Like, was this a clinical? Was this a lecture? Was this physical assessment? Is this fundamentals? I was just all over the place. I was a hot mess, and that's simply because of lack of preparation. So I think that one of the biggest things, or the biggest tips that I can give that's going to make you successful in passing not just your first semester, but just all throughout nursing school, is being organized and having a planner, whether that's a digital planner, whether it's a physical planner, and writing everything down, printing everything out, printing out your syllabus, printing out your calendars. Our school is really good with sending us emails of our clinical sections that we're supposed to be in and what days they are going to be, and I just failed to write those things down and really look at what my schedule was going to look like for the next 4 months. And so I would say, again, get organized, get on top of things, stay on top of things, because catching up and trying to get ahead is such a hassle in nursing school, because you're already behind before you even start. That's just the reality of nursing school. Like, you think these memes and these TikToks are joking? They're not. You're behind before you even start. You should have been getting organized when you were 3 months old. Like, let's be real. So if I could do it all over again, I would have printed out my syllabus. I would have wrote down when my first exams were. I would have written out literally my whole semester. If you're working, write down the days you get paid. Put away money for like gas or for food, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not meal prepping, you're gonna be eating out a lot. I ate so much in my first semester because I just did. I was always tired. I was always hungry, and there was always something due. So I did not have time to really cook and prepare meals and stay on top of things. Like, I had to cut down the time that I was going to the gym. Listen, nursing school is a different beast, okay? So if no one's told you that, I'm telling you now. It's a different beast. It's a different ball game. You have to be, if you're a type B person, that's okay. Because I was somewhere in the middle. I was type A, but I was more type B. Kind of go with the flow type girl. You better get type A. And you better get type A quickly. Things are going to move fast, especially if you're in an accelerated program. And again, you want to be successful. You don't want to be running late and then your friends are texting you like, oh yeah, by the way, we have skills today. Okay. And where you at? Oh, I thought that was next week. Ask me how I know. And it's really important to stay on top of everything, all your classes, all your assignments. So just get organized, get a planner. Again, whether that's your iPad, your digital planner, a planner from Walmart. Me personally, I like physical planners. I cannot do the digital planning. I tried it. I am just not that girl. That's okay. I have a cute planner that I got from Walmart and I like writing it down. I write everything down in pencil in case I need to erase something. I have a lot of highlighters so everything's color coordinated. I know when my first exams are, and it helps me stay on top of what's coming up and what I need to prepare for in advance. All right, my next tip is to start practicing those dosage calculations. There is no reason for you to fail any semester of nursing school because of a dosage calc test. And yes, a lot of schools require 100%, which as they should. You have people's lives in your hands and you're gonna need to be able to calculate the proper amount to give to that person, the proper medication, the proper kilograms, the proper milliliters per hour, whatever it is. Practice those dosage calculations now. If you have not started nursing school, look up Level Up RN. I'll leave some of her links below. She helped me a lot to just get the basics on dimensional analysis. That's personally how I like to do my dosage calculations, but practice makes perfect. Just get familiar with it. You don't need to be an expert. If your school is a good school, they'll at least go over some practice problems with you, or how my program does it is they upload a couple of videos for you to watch and then they give you a practice test that you can take before your dosage calc test is due. In my first semester, mine wasn't due for about 3 to 4 weeks into the program, but as we moved on, because now I'm a level 3, level 2 it was due the second week, and now level 3 it was the first week. So they don't give you much time to study or get the math down or to teach you the math. You have to take that initiative and learn it yourself. So if you don't want to fail your first couple weeks of school just because of a dosage calc, just start practicing now. Dedicate at least an hour every other day or so to study your dosage calculations, because honestly the math is not that bad. If you got this far and you got into the program, you can do dosage calculations. I do know a lot of people who struggle in math, including myself, and it wasn't until I did the practice and I got familiar with it where I became more confident. So it didn't throw me off guard when a dosage calc test was being presented to me, because I had already practiced and I was practicing way before the program even started. So with that said, start studying those dosage calcs now so they don't throw you off guard later. Nursing school be trying to take you out, child. Don't let it do it. Okay, my next tip is to read your syllabus thoroughly. Okay, let me tell you something. There's some fine print stuff in those syllabuses. Okay, there is fine print in those syllabus, and you want to make sure that you know what the fine print is and what assignments are graded, how they're graded, how much they weigh, and what can get you in trouble, what they write up. You want to know the pass or fail. You just want to make sure that you understand what you need to really hone in on. For example, I had a class in my second semester that only counted quizzes, exam, and the HESI. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh, the EAQs that I'm doing, I'm gonna get points for. The math calculation, like the dosage calculation test, I'm gonna get points for it. No, those aren't graded, and those are not included in your 75 rule, which in our program you need a 75 or higher to pass the class, which isn't bad at all, right? But when you're only graded off of exams and quizzes, if those are my only grades, what do you think that I need to focus on? The exams and quizzes, okay? Because those are weighing like 20%. Each exam is like 20% of your grade. So there's no cushion, there's no wiggle room, there's no homework assignments that are going to help boost my grade up in the end. So the reason why I say you need to read your syllabus and know how your assignments are going to be graded, because if you have an exam coming up that's worth 20% of your grade, I need you to study hard for that exam, because you probably only have one chance to fail an exam, and your next exam is going to be worth 20%. Oh, you better do good on those next 2 exams, because again, you don't have much cushion. There's not many assignments that are going to be there to help pad your grade and keep you from failing. I had to learn real quick to read my syllabus thoroughly. Even in there, they tell you like how many attempts you have to pass your math test, your dosage calc. So some schools it's like 2 times, some schools it's 3. You need to know these things. And a lot of times I found myself reaching out to my professor, seeking out questions, and they would literally send me to my syllabus. Embarrassing, okay? Because did you not read? And don't get me wrong, no, I did not. I'm sorry, I did not see that, my bad. But that's when I learned really quick, especially in my first semester, read your syllabus. Read it thoroughly, know it like the back of your hand. Know which classes weight test this way, which classes weight test that way, which assignments need to be utmost priority. Like there's some assignments that are like 3% of your grade. Are we gonna focus on the 3%? You should, yes, because every assignment matters, but you really need to hone in on that 20% exam that's coming up. So that is another big tip. Read your syllabus, please. Like before the semester even starts, print it out, highlight it. They're also going to tell you when things are due. So if your first exam is due in week 3, you need to know what day in week 3 it's due and when you need to show up and when you need to lock in. If you need to lock in that week before and start studying and make sure you have all the material done before the exam even starts, that's what you need to do, okay? Ask me how I know. They put everything there for you, and it's up to you to be responsible enough to read and write things down and be on top of things. Okay, so the next tip that I have for you guys is to figure out your schedule. Like I said in the beginning, figuring out my schedule was one of the hardest things that made semester 1 so tough for me and challenging, because there was so many things due, so many places I had to be, and I didn't know how to figure that out with also a part-time schedule. My job, thank God, I've been there a while. They're very flexible with me and they're able to work with my school schedule. However, I was not working with myself, okay? I was not figuring out when I need to be places, where I need to be, what time. I was literally all over the place. I didn't know like what time I had to be at clinical, and then it switches from AM to PM. So in the middle of the semester, we're now at clinical from 1 to, from like 1 to 6, and then the first half of the semester it was like 6 to 12. And it was just very confusing for me because I'm not used to this. I'm not used to having to be at a million different places in just 1 week. And then on top of that, you're trying to find time to study, you're trying to figure out what's due, you're trying to figure out when are you free to work. If you do work, it is very hard figuring out your school schedule. And I think had I planned in advance and wrote everything down, I would have definitely went in more prepared. But I did not do that because again, I'm thinking, oh, it's just like my undergrad, like, you just go to class. No, it's class, it's clinical, it's skills lab, it's sign off, it's everything. They keep you busy for a reason. Like a lot of times nursing school is just busy work for the most part. So if you have the time to sit down and write out where you need to be at what times and what days you have class, what days you have lecture, what days you can work. If you don't have to work, God bless. If you can figure all that out before the semester starts, you'll be way ahead of the game. Okay, so the next tip that I have for you guys is to practice your head to toe in your free time. If you don't know what a head to toe is, it's pretty much where you have to go and do a head to toe assessment on somebody, whether it's a mannequin or a real person, in front of your instructor, and you have to memorize the important features that you need to examine as a nurse. So they usually tell you what they're looking for when it comes to your examination, whether it's PERLA, whether it's alert and oriented ×4, whether you're auscultating the heart and lungs, if you're doing like the intercostal space. Like your instructor will tell you like the specifics they are looking for when you're doing your head to toe. The thing that threw me off guard was that we had to memorize it. I don't know what I was thinking, like, oh, I can hold the paper and I'll be able to look at it. Like, no, that's not how that works. You're not gonna have a paper when you're inspecting your patient as a nurse. So I realized very quickly I had to memorize my head to toe, and what helped me the most was writing a script. So yeah, that's another big tip in level 1 or semester 1 of nursing school. Please practice your head to toe. That's another reason to not fail. Like, you don't want to not pass your first semester of nursing school because you failed your head to toe or because you failed your dosage calculation. Like, those are some of the things that wipe people out. Oh, also fundamentals. But but that's another video for another day, okay? Because she was a little challenging in the beginning, but once I mastered it, she was a fundamentals queen, okay? Practice your head to toe, whether it's on a family member, a teddy bear, a mannequin. Go to your skills lab, practice, because they're gonna want you to memorize that head to toe and know it like the back of your hand. Okay, my next tip is to meet with your professors and take advantage of office hours. This is something that I wish I had did, and that I noticed that a lot of students who had A's and were very successful in semester 1 did this, and the teachers knew them and they had that rapport and that relationship with the teachers because they took the extra time out to visit them during their office hours and ask for help. When I was struggling, I'm such the type that when I struggle, I keep it to myself. I internalize it and I try to deal with it on my own. The truth is, your teachers are there or should be there to help you and want to see you succeed. So if you're struggling and you find yourself like really struggling in a class, don't wait till the last minute to visit them or seek out help. Go to them, get the help that you need early on, so that way you're successful the rest of the semester, because there's going to be failed tests, there's going to be challenging assignments, there's going to be things that make you question if you're even ready or capable of becoming a nurse, and your instructors are there to literally help you and be that support for you and let you know how you can do better in their class. So definitely take advantage of office hours, visit your professors, talk to them. If you guys have a student success facilitator, which we have in our program, talk to them, but do it early on so that way the rest of your semester only gets better. You don't want it to get worse. You don't want to wait till you're struggling and failing every single class before you seek help. So take advantage of that, seek help, and use all the resources that they provide to you guys. Okay, so the next tip that I have, guys, is to be on time. This is something that I struggled with in the very first semester of nursing school, and obviously I'm a lot better now, and I'm still working on it because I'm not a morning person at all, but being on time is going to save you from getting in trouble. In nursing school, at least in my program, they are very strict on being on time. They give you warnings, they let you know, hey, if this happens again, I am going to have to write you up, I'm going to have to give you an evaluation, and you just want to avoid that altogether. If I could do everything all over again, I would definitely prioritize my time better, I would prioritize my sleep better, and just, it's not worth it. You work this hard to get into a program, you don't want to mess it up because you're always late. Even in my program, there were certain classes where if you were not there by 8 a.m., they locked you out. So be on time, whether that's clinical, class, lectures, skills, just be on time. That's literally all I can say. Prioritize your sleep. Make sure you're setting multiple alarms. If you really struggle to get up in the morning, set 17 alarms if you have to, every single minute until you wake up. Like, have somebody help get you up if you just constantly are sleeping through your alarm. It's just not worth it to fail a program because you're late to clinical or you're constantly late to class and you're getting locked out. Time management is super important. So again, guys, be on time. Take it from me. I got locked out of a class once. I was late to clinical before. Even if it's by a minute, like some of my stuff was like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and I would be like, well, traffic, like at the end of the day, you're supposed to be responsible, and that's not gonna work when you're a nurse and you're on the floor and you're working at a hospital. They don't care about traffic. They don't care about, oh, I slept through my alarm. No, you need to be responsible. You are going to have lives in your hands someday. So wake up on time, prioritize your rest, go to bed, stop doom scrolling, okay, and take this serious because this is going to be your future career. Okay, so the next tip is to prioritize your rest. Like I said, with being on time, a lot of it was because I would stay up studying or sometimes even just doom scrolling, if I'm being honest, and I would be so tired in the morning I did not want to get up. And then I would wait till the last minute, or I would forget to dry my scrubs, and now I'm waiting on my scrubs to be dry. Like, I was just all over the place, level 1, and it's really important you prioritize your sleep. Even if it's a 20-minute nap in the car, okay? Like, get your naps in, go to sleep on time, go to bed early, because you are going to be exhausted, you are going to be drained, and it's going to be a tough program, and you're going to need sleep. You're going to need rest. I took the most naps ever in my entire life. My first semester in nursing school, I prioritized my sleep. If I was tired, I'm going to sleep, even if it's just 10 minutes, just to refresh my brain, recharge my brain. There was times after clinical, I would sleep for 3 hours. Sometimes that's a little excessive, but sometimes you need that nap. If you need a nap, make sure you get up when your alarm goes off. If you need a 30-minute nap, take your 30-minute nap. Rest is still just as important as studying and being on time. If you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling burnt out, take some time to yourself to catch up on sleep. Take some time to prioritize your rest, even if it's in the middle of the day. If you have a car, go to your car, lay down for a couple minutes, and then come back. I lived off caffeine and naps. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's literally still how I'm getting through nursing school. I have a subscription of Celsius that comes, and I take my nap. I'm tired, I'm tired. I'm not gonna learn anything if I'm tired. Okay? So yeah. My next tip is to complete your assignments before they are due. I can't tell you how many times that I almost forgot something was due and I almost missed the due date and the time to submit it, and I got in trouble for that. So I got written up for turning in an assignment late. I got written up for being late. I've got written up for a lot of things, okay? Obviously, I've passed and I've made it and I've made the improvements and I've gotten better throughout the semester. So if I could do everything all over again, I wish somebody would have told me, stay on top of it and put your assignments, like turning your assignments before they are due. That is the key to staying on top of things. Like, I had all of my first week's assignments turned in before the semester even started, because a lot of our stuff unlocked the week before school even went back. And when I tell you, it's such a breeze, and this is why I'm able to sit here and do this content right now, because all my assignments for today have been turned in. So I think that's a key tip for nursing school in general, like not even just your first semester, but next however many semesters to get you through the program. Turning your stuff before it's due, it's going to save you so much time, and you're going to have time to study, you're going to have time to focus on other things and still prioritize rest because you turned in the stuff before it was due. And that way it's off of your mind. You can still prioritize going out, you know, and having dinner with your family or having a little quick lunch date with your friends, and that way you're not feeling overwhelmed and overconsumed with nursing school. Because yes, even though those things are going to be limited while you're in the program, you can still find time for those things, even if it's once or twice throughout the semester. It's still something. But turning in your assignments before they're due are going to help you do that so that you can enjoy. If something's due Friday, turn it in by Thursday, turn it in by Wednesday, so you can have your Friday to hang out or to rest or to catch up on other things. That is one of the key to being successful, not only in your first semester, but every semester leading up to that. Turn in the stuff before they're due if possible. I understand that not everything is going to get turned in before the due date, especially if it's like a group thing or it's just something that takes a while to do, which there are going to be assignments like that in nursing school. But for the most part, whatever you can control, if you're, instead of scrolling or being on social media, take the time to complete the assignments ahead of time so they're off of your brain, and now you don't have to worry about them. You'll thank me later. All right, and so my last and final tip for passing your first semester of nursing school is to remember your end goal. I think that a lot of us get caught up in the everyday things that are due and the tasks and the clinicals and the exams and the projects, to the fact that sometimes we forget why we're even there, and you want to give up. You're going to want to give up. You're going to feel like you don't deserve to be there. You're going to feel inadequate. You're going to feel not as smart. You're now in the field and in a program where some of the smartest students are gathered. So when I tell you, I was definitely looking around like, am I even supposed to be here? Because I didn't know that and they knew that, or I'm not as good at this but they are, or you know, they're making A's and I made a B minus. Like, what am I not doing? Don't compare yourself. Remember the end goal. Nobody is going to ask you as a nurse, what grade did you get in fundamentals? Because that's going to determine if I let you take care of me today. No, we're all here for the same degree, for the same letters behind our name, BS and RN. Okay, so it's okay to get discouraged. It's okay to feel like you don't belong. Just don't let that be the determining factor of you pushing through a program and you pushing through your classes. It's going to be failed tests. There's going to be hard times. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be times you feel like you don't know anything. It's going to be okay. I promise it's going to be okay. I could have my future self talk to my past self. She would not even believe that we're in level 3 right now. I didn't think I could make it through level 1, and that I'm here in level 3. I'm in peds and OB, one of the hardest semesters that I'm probably ever going to go through. I'll keep y'all updated on that. Remember your end goal. Remember your why. Remember why you wanted to be a nurse. Remember the freedom that's going to come, the financial freedom that's going to come from it, the lives that you're going to change just by being that caregiver, and always keep God in the center. I don't know if you guys know, but this is a faith-based channel, okay? I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for the one and only Jesus Christ. So remember your why. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna pass level 1, semester 1. I say level 1 because our school calls them levels, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. But you're gonna pass your first semester. And I wish you guys nothing but blessings and success in your future endeavors. I'm gonna definitely keep you guys posted on my end and on my journey of nursing school. Guys, I'm still in the program, so I do apologize once again for not being as consistent as I would like. But I'm gonna try and do a lot more content and get a lot better with posting. So I really hope you guys enjoyed enjoyed this video. If you are starting nursing school, or you're thinking about going to nursing school, or you're still in your prerequisites, I just want to remind you that you can do it. It's one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done so far, even though I'm still in it. I'm just very thankful that I even got this far. And if you're doubting yourself, I just want you to know what you're feeling is normal and it's okay, and you're gonna get through it. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You got this. Remember your why. Keep pushing. Do not let a failed test, being late, just little obstacles that can come throughout your journey, self-doubt, comparison. Don't let any of that stop you from doing what God has called you to do. So keep pushing, future nurses. I love you so much, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.